Hey, Brandon Mileski and Pat Micheletti. This is a brand new episode of Beyond the Pod. It's a mini BTP. Pat Micheletti and myself and Pat. I really like the idea that Fantasy Football Weekly did and Paul Charchin did of just having macro shows and just focusing on one player. So I thought we'd steal the idea and do a mini BTP, and we just do one topic today. So here's the topic I'd like to bring up to you. I received a tweet a while ago, Pat, was curious as to why Wild fans love Joel Eriksson Ek and maybe not hate, but dislike Mikko Koivu when they both play kind of the same role. So what would be your reaction to that question?
Well, my reaction to that would be that the expectation level of a Mikko Koivu more so over Eriksson Ek, and that may have been just the timing of where the organization was. I think people, labeled Mikko Koivu for years as the number one center because we never had one. I mean, we really didn't, and not that we do now, but it's better. And I think people thought Mikko Koivu was a guy who should be getting you 80 to 90 points a season and be that offensive guy. And I just think the expectation level heightened more with Koivu, and hence drew the angst of people when it didn't happen.
And to your point on expectations, Pat, Mikko Koivu was the number 6 overall pick in the draft. Joel Eriksson Ek went at pick 20. So whether it's fair or not, when you are drafting at number 6, you are expecting someone who's a little more elite, scoring goals. And if you look at stats over the years, Mikko Koivu, the most goals he ever had in a season, 22. Joel Eriksson Ek, the last 2 seasons, has had 26 and 23. And when you're drafting at number 6, Mikko Koivu was a darn good player.
Yes.
His jersey is up in the rafters. There's many things he did well, but I think a lot of it is when you're drafting at number 6, people are expecting an elite player. He was a really good player, but he wasn't an elite player.
And that's fair, because that should be your expectation if you are getting a guy that high in the draft. The guys that go high in the draft are your skill players, right? Are your guys that are big point producers in junior or in the European League or wherever, college. And that's you get anointed that right away, because you should be if you're getting picked that high.
Well, the other part too, Pat, Joel Eriksson Ek is still 26 years old.
Yeah.
When Mikko Koivu was 26 years old, I think there was a lot of positive reviews, including from myself, on him, right? It kind of went, and his career moved along further, and he got the big contract, and he got the C on the jersey, and the expectations change with someone like that. And, not to say Joel Eriksson Ek is going to, not reach those expectations as he moves on, but I think Mikko Koivu at this stage of Joel Eriksson Ek's career, I think, was universally liked.
Remember, Brandon, when Mikko first came into the league, and they under Jacques Lemaire, and they moved him along a little, slowly, which was the right thing to do. But people raved about him. We were waiting. We want to see more Mikko. I recall that right from the get go, and slice it or dice it any way you want. Mikko had a pretty solid career year in and year out.
And to your point you made earlier, Pat, Mikko Koivu in my eyes was always a second line center at best on a Stanley Cup winning team. Because of the lack of center position here, he was forced to be elevated in a role where he was quite often playing on the first line, playing with scorers at times. And that just wasn't a good fit for him. That wasn't a good role for him. And to that extent, Joel Eriksson Ek has scored without playing with the Kaprizovs. Now he's playing on the power play with them and scoring on the power play. But 5-on-5, Joel Eriksson Ek has been doing it with Marcus Foligno and Jordan Greenway, and this past season with Johansson and Boldy. He's been scoring without really playing with the top scorers, at least 5-on-5.
And let's not forget, Brandon. Sorry, my dog.
Your dog really doesn't like my comments.
No. let's not forget, Joel Eriksson Ek, his first 3 years were not very good.
Yes.
And we were wondering, hey, should we move this guy? Is it not going to work out? And so, again, it takes a while for guys to get going. However, he's turned into one of the top centermen in the league.
All right, your dog needs some attention, so that'll be it for our first ever edition of Mini BTP, just a small sample of Beyond the Pod, just doing one topic. We'll talk to you later, Pat.
Thanks, Brandon.